How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you don't mind, please give this video a like. Please subscribe to the channel. You get more content like this. And I'm going to tell you straight up how I feel on certain things on this channel. Not going to hold back on anything really. So I found another news story that's probably being glanced over by most people. And this here lets you know where we are as a country right now. This is going to let you know exactly where we are as a country and how flawed our education system is right now. Let me share this article with you. Found this one on foxnews.com. Let me share this with you real fast. And look at this. Hate the fact that it's from Texas because you know I love Texas. But here we go. Texas elementary school segregated kids by hair color for lesson on racism, parents say. So that's what the parents say. School district in San Antonio says the activity and video are not age appropriate and will not be used again. Parents at a San Antonio elementary school are outraged after they say their kids were segregated by hair color and shown a Spike Lee documentary lesson during a lesson on racial discrimination. Parents told News 4 San Antonio that fifth graders at Leon Springs Elementary were segregated into two groups according to their hair color and then treated differently based on what group they fit into. Goes on to say, uh, quote, dark-haired kids, the brown and black-haired kids were treated as the privileged ones, and the blonde-haired and the redhead kids were the ones treated not so nicely, unquote. Mother Brandy Leninger, I hope I'm not butchering this lady's name, Brandy Leninger told the outlet. The mother said the children in the fair-haired group were told they were not as intelligent as the dark-haired group, and they were made to clean up after the other children. The students were also reportedly shown a lead documentary called Four Little Girls about the 1963 bombing of an Alabama church, which includes graphic autopsy photos of the girls' bodies. The teacher said she fast forwarded past the graphic parts, but Leninger said her daughter still saw the photos, News 4 reported. The things that she said that she skipped over, my daughter was able to describe to us to a T. So that night, my daughter was unable to go to sleep in our own room. She was scared, unquote, Father Mike Leninger said. The Leninger said they weren't notified of the lesson beforehand. Quote, they send us notes and newsletters about everything else, unquote, Brandon Leninger said. Quote, your child is going to see the Polar Express and it's pajama day on Friday before winter break, and we get no notice that they're going to do a social experiment on segregation, unquote. Man, that is let's just stop right there because, well, you know what? I can read a little more. It says the Northside Independent School District admitted in a statement to News 4 that the material was inappropriate for fifth graders. Quote, the activity and video in question were of a larger fifth grade project-based lesson around the inequity of segregation, unquote, the district said. Quote, while the campus did receive positive feedback from several parents, district and campus administration recognized the parents' concerns and agreed that the activity and video are not age appropriate and will not be used again, unquote. Northside did not respond to Fox News' inquiry about why parents were reportedly not notified of the exercise beforehand. Let me tell you this. Let me stop sharing this real fast. Let me put the camera back on my face. Let me tell you this. This right here is what's wrong with the school system right now, the education system right now. But I can tell you this. what they're doing right now is basically showing more hate. Like segregation and hate does not produce anything good. It didn't produce anything good before. It's not going to produce anything good now. By segregating them, and first of all, I don't care if you're white, black, Hispanic, whatever. You would, I mean, I know me personally, you're not about to have my kids clean up after some other kids. That's not going to work. Now, I can tell you this also, Mr. or Mrs. Teacher or teachers, whatever teachers you are out there, there's nothing you can do to let a kid or student that's not black understand what it's like to be black. Why? Because they're not black. God didn't create them black. He created them of a different race for a reason. So you can't take what they call a fair-haired uh, kid and make them feel like a black-haired or dark-haired kid. You just can't do that. You could literally paint them with brown or black paint. They're still not going to know. So this little social experiment, and I think the lady was right. I think Leninger was her name. I think she was right when they said it was a social experiment, because basically that's what it is. That's what it was. You can't do that. Like you need to find. I mean, you're a teacher. You're supposed to know how to open a kid's mind to where they're willing to receive and learn anything. The problem is, and I said it in one of my previous videos, teachers used to teach the students how to think. Now they're telling the students what to think. I'm an 80s kid, 90s teenager, and this here makes me appreciate my teachers more. Am I saying that some of the teachers weren't racist? Not saying that. Not saying that at all. Because even coming up in the small town school like I was, I didn't see a lot of black teachers. Most of the teachers were white. I don't even know if I saw any, maybe a few Hispanic teachers, but most of them were white, right? But even with that, they still had a way of not telling us what to think, but telling us to expand our mind and teaching and telling us how to think. You know, they believed in pros and cons thing. You put pros over here, cons over there. That's what they believed in. I bet they don't even do that in schools anymore. I always tell young students now that everything you learn in life, I would probably say about 5% of it comes from schooling. About 5% of it. Because teachers in school districts are told to teach you a certain way, a certain thing now. It's not always true. Or a lot of things are left out. That's why I always say, do your own research. If you want to, know more about, the 1963 bombing of the Alabama church, go do your own research on it. Because the way that teacher just treated those students then, that wasn't helpful at all. If anything, it made the situation worse. All it's going to do is make those white kids hate the black kids more, or vice versa. That's all it's going to do. That's all it's going to do. So basically what you're doing is essentially you're teaching hate. Hate didn't work in the 60s. It didn't work in the 70s, didn't work in the 80s, didn't work in the 90s, the 2000s. It's not going to work now. Going back to even in the slavery, it didn't work then. So why would it work now? You're trying too hard. That's what it looks like. You're trying too hard. And people could see right through you. It doesn't make sense. And yes, once again, the lady said it was a social experiment. That's what our kids have become now in these schools. A freaking social experiment. They don't care about our kids. Yeah, I'm not saying all teachers. There may be a few teachers out there that actually care about kids. When I was going to school, teachers were a little older, and most of them had already raised kids. But now you have a lot of younger teachers out there. They may not even have kids. Honestly, just in my interactions with some teachers, not all, but with some teachers, I don't even think they like kids. I don't even think they like students. I think they're just doing it they think it's an okay career, or whatever. I don't know. They may be doing it to get a student loan paid off for it. I don't know. But a lot of them, they don't like kids. I'm just being honest with you. They do not like kids. That's why as a household, as parents in our household, the dad, the mom, you are all responsible for teaching your kids what's right and what's true. Now, do I recommend watching or I would say doing more research on, the 1963 bombing of the Alabama church? Absolutely. Because it was an act of racism and discrimination. It was. It really was. I'm not disputing that. I'm disputing is the way we're teaching kids in the schools now. It's not helping at all. It's making matters worse. Like we're trying to be so politically correct that I don't know, we're just throwing off these kids' minds. Like kids do not know how to think now because of that. But parents, I'm talking to you parents out there. It's your job to teach your kids right. At white parents, yes, you should be teaching your kids about what happened in the 60s to black people. You should, because it's part of history. Not a great part of history, but it's still part of history. It's still part of American history. Black parents, you need to obviously teach your kids the same thing, but you can't go out there teaching your kids that all white people are racist. You can't do that. But yes, they obviously black kids need to know about, certain situations that happened in the 60s. They need to know about slavery. Yes. But tell the whole story if you're going to tell the whole story. And if you're going to talk about slavery, you need to know that it was actually other blacks or Africans that sold Africans into slavery. We have to start right there if we're going to talk about that period. I don't know. That's just what I think on that. What do you all think about that? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear everyone's opinion on this one. And some people may disagree with what I'm saying. Hey, it is what it is. I didn't get on this channel or on this platform so that everyone can agree with me. I don't expect that. Anyways, please give the video a like. Please subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And never, ever be afraid to speak it, tell it, say it. God bless.